One of them days, I lost my recording last night. You know, it's my fault. I pressed the wrong button. It's all good. We're gonna do another one today. That's all. No, let me play this beat. I like this beat. I made this beat up. It's gonna be for a future song. Just like that. You know? What's up, Crow? What's good? All right. Biblio Sexper, what's good? Peace, beloved. All right. That's what we talking about. Raven, peace and love, Raven. What's good? I know we have to talk a lot, Raven. It's been a long time since we talked. There's so much to talk about. But, you know, we could talk from basically this. We could start, pretty much. It's like a lot of people that I was supposed to connect with or am connected with, such as family, that when we going through ascension, it's like, phew, it's a mess. It's not the same like how we think it is. Like, you could just say, well, I'm gonna go ascend today and I'll do it for a couple of hours. Then I'll go tend to this business and tend to that business. Unfortunately, it don't work that way. You know, what we talking about is knitting your neurons together. So when you're knitting neurons together, it's like you remembering, you trying to remember. And so say you wasn't knitting neurons together, you was being programmed, which is the destruction of neurons. And so Nancy Brady, good day, good day. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Yes. And so, that's what we're here to do. That's what this whole meditation is about, restructuring back your biophysiology, rejuvenating back your cells, which gonna give you, your youth back. It's gonna bring back your memory. It's gonna teach you about yourself and your magnetic field and how to use it. That's going to be the basic concept of what we're going to consider meditation. So when this happens, it's like something comes over you that actually pulls on you and it's trying to take you into isolation. It's like a magnetic pull. And it's not a bad isolation. You get it like as a download. The first thing, like when this comes over you, it tells you stay to yourself, go to yourself, write everything down. The reason why I tell you to write everything down is because you're going into the astral body now. You just woke up your astral body. And so when your astral body first wake up, or what's the purpose of an astral body, is actually to take you to go meet your soul. So it has a purpose, but it's also your dream body. And being that it's your dream body, it only has temporary memory. The actual astral body is supposed to help you to actually forget the next day everything that you did. So it has its purpose, but in it, when you're traveling, remote viewing, you're only going to remember your dreams, the experiences you have in the astral temporarily. So you're supposed to write it all down so that everything sticks. This got to do with redoing your neurons over. Everything that you try to remember, try to contemplate on after you leave the astral or your dream world, it actually knits back your neurons and be able to help you to start remembering your true self, the I, and that's what it's about. All right, so we're going to get into some things today before I actually dead this, but let's take this off. Out of the body experience, correct. Yes, Nancy Brady, the the um the astral body is actually, it's we have different bodies that work with different parts of our psychology, and they each one has a part with evolving you up to the highest level of the astral world, the spirit world, what we would call the nothing. And so what will start happening is you're going to come up like a rocket with sections that break off each different section as you go to different spheres of the astral. We call it the firmament, but it's a magnetic field that's very strong as it gets higher. Know nothing. That's right. The know nothing, or what we call the ein. You could equate it to a blank piece of paper. This will be the nothing right here. perfection. This is where we from, ether. And that nothing now, say you put a dot on it, a simple dot, it's tarnished now. So it wouldn't be nothing no more. That's you. You're the I, your ego. You're the something or nothing. But you want to get rid of this and be perfect. But we usually know this symbol now as the yin and yang symbol. You understand? It's set up now to have duality in it. If I was to, let me see, press on here. We got it set up, the circle now, to have duality on this paper, and to split the duality between this side and this side. So not only is it to take the light side, the white side or whatever, and push out the darkness, which is ignorance or not knowing, but also now to make your whole white turn this whole paper back to a blank white, to be the nothing again, the ein, the true you. So when we're talking about that, we're going to talk about Gnosticism too, so that you get a general understanding of it, because it's not just a religion, it's not just a belief system like how we think. Gnosticism teaches you your God. And so if you don't know your God, you might as well just get off this channel and don't even mess with me. It doesn't make no sense to try this, because it's a belief. Your belief is what your genetics is going to express. If I tell you something, right, you can believe it, but do you really mean it in your belief? So you can say, yeah, but it's not being expressed through your genetics until you stand on it as a belief system. But here's the trick. We're here to take away all belief systems, and you're here to learn what's called perceptions. Perceptions is truth only. You understand? That's why you had the master say he's the truth, he's the light. The light being clearing off the yin and yang symbol off this paper and making it just a blank piece of paper again. That would be truth. Everything got to go. So it's like a mirror that's dirty right now, and you have to clear it off so you can see through it. When you see through it, you'll see past the mental program and everything else that they made you out to be. So that's the real reason now we have the nothing. But it's perfect. That's perfection, the nothing. Like the blank piece of paper. And every imperfection become a stain on it, a dot. All right, cool. So now in Gnosticism, we learn first, or we're going to take it into the Egyptians too when we putting this into Gnosticism, because Gnosticism is actually Coptic. We hear about it from the Nag Hammadi documents. That's Gnostic works right there. And the Dead Sea Scrolls. These was all people that was actually living around Qumran. Qumran is a place in Africa or Asia part that was under attack by Rome, and so a lot of them head to those caves or mountains and hid the sacred scrolls. This is going to lead to where you get your Christianity come from, because they find these scrolls through Ptolemy and start rewriting in what we call a canon of all the ancient scrolls of our ancestors. But it's very important for us to know our ancestors' ways was a nature science. It's a philosophy, a way of life that don't really involve duality. You understand? So once we take the duality out of it, we'll have more time to focus on our true inner self, because duality only takes place in the external world, and we was taught that. So by breaking out the duality within yourself, you stop judging not just your own actions, but other people's actions, and start being subjective to reality instead of objective to it, which is what's causing the demise of not just, indigenous people, but everybody on the general being objective to everything that we're encountering. But, as you become one with yourself and learn who you are as an I, the ego, the chaos, you learn a chaos God, like how they teach you it, is actually to take chaotic energy and make order out of it. So chaos gods look for disorder to put order to it. You understand? So I don't want us to think chaos gods is something that's here like, the anarchists here to change the world and make trouble. No, chaos gods is organizers. Enki's an organizer. He would be called consciousness. You have the unconscious and look at the unconscious as space, ether energy. If you was unconscious in the ether energy, you'd be like, whoa, this is gonna kill me. Whoa, what am I doing here? Oh my God, could I breathe? What's gonna happen to my bills? This is what's going on in the unconscious while you consciously smiling and pretending. So down from that unconscious darkness, you say to yourself, well, enough of this. Let me pull myself together and get out of these scary thoughts, get out of this anxiety and attacks. And that's you. The conscious form comes in, the expression of the gene that forms you, the individual, that came out of chaos to organize itself and see what it wants. So once you realize that's consciousness, is how the Samaritan put us will be Lord Enki. And then Enlil, Lil, anything with the word Lil in it will symbolize demon or chaos in its action. So Lil would actually be the subconscious mind of what you're thinking of everything. And you got to think of everything. Trust me, you can't stop the thinking of everything because you created this reality with everything that you thought. And thought has form. That's another thing we have to speak up on so we understand how thought forms work. Because it's like from magic, and we could use the Renaissance period where they try to tell us that it was a dark age, but it wasn't. It was an enlightened age. It was a golden age. But they cover it today as the dark age because they was doing more magic, astral projection. People was actually flying around. You know, Merkaba science was reinvented. Everything from Egypt came back again in these Renaissance people, and they try to cover it up. So the age of enlightenment is the Renaissance. It's best to get those type of books if you're into what I'm into, or you know, a lot of us don't realize it that we're higher beings, angelic beings, that is set for 2019, a whole different science, a whole different way of seeing things. Forget about gravity, forget about everything, man. We're going to reinvent everything over because we're in a different density of the solar system, the universe, the stars is different. So it takes away electrons from us and gives us a different chromosome. So we have to relearn ourselves, which was predicted already from a long time ago. Greetings, Skahalaba Dihoka. You know, I'm not good with names, but God bless you for tuning in, and you know, thank you very much for coming. I really, really, really appreciate it because I want us all to embrace this. It's actually going to unite everybody under one umbrella and make you know science, nature science, God science, not actually see yourself as Muslim, as Christian, as African, doing the Kemetic thing, the Hebrew Israelite thing. It's all one tree, but it's so reflected in different religion, we get caught up in culture. And if you don't realize you're a soul and not a physical being, you're not black, you're not white, you're not Chinese. That's just on the external. If you externalize yourself, you have to follow the dogma that comes with those sayings. If you believe you're African American, you got to believe the dogma that comes with it. So you have to follow the culture. That puts you into a confinement. Your soul is not involved. And that's why we have corporate entities that's being contracted under their birth certificate, which is a bond certificate, an indentured bond, which is what it is, a chattel good, and your Social Security, which has a big debt taken out of it through the National Treasury Department, and you really don't have the actual paperwork. They got the record. It's called the birth record, and the certificate is a record. We get certificates, which is like leases. Like your car papers is leases. You don't own your car. A mortgage, you don't own your house. Those things is just leases to show that you doing business with them. Same thing. Your body is a corporation. You have the right to do business, the DBA. You're more that than to say you're flesh blood in this external world of business. So your commerce, you have to learn the maritime law. You have to study UCC codes to see how you work. But you ain't going to understand these until you understand between your soul and your body. You're not the same. Then the government know that, but you don't know that. So when you're ignorant to these facts, you're liable. That's what you call liable for the charges that's being brought up against you because you claim that shit. That's me. Is this Joanna Smith in the courtroom? Yes, that's me. Yes, yes. That's not you. If you was you, your name would be, let's say it was Joanna Smith, capital J, lower or whatever comes next is all lowercase, and your last name first letter capital, then the rest lowercase. If you could show me that on your ID, then you're a human being. If you don't have that on your ID and your name is in all capital letters, you're a corporation, you're a corporate entity, you're a DBA, doing business as. So once you realize that, that's why law work in the way. Greetings, yes, kills rising. Let's get this going, Rislin, whatever you pronounce it as. Okay. Now, when you realize these things between the soul and the body, you realize you're in a Luciferian system. The what we call maritime system is Luciferian, meaning that it has to do with the water. You understand? And so it doesn't actually apply to you. The soul is fire, ether. You understand? The body is water, so it falls under maritime. So it's a when you do the whole greetings to vibe with you, Lord Enki. Appreciate doing live. Yes, I'm gonna start doing that more, Isaac Miller. You know, I want people to really get involved and learn and deprogram yourself because we're in the density of it, and a lot of strange, phenomenal things is gonna happen. There's ancestors here that's gonna help us now. The system is gonna change. Illuminati, they really gone. They're not here no more. They just tricking us thinking that they're here. The government is really gone too. It's really up to you now. All this new science you're gonna hear coming out in the future, it's only about what you think, your perception, what you're gonna do. So once you realize these things, you will focus now. Got no power over us. That's right, Dubious Kepper. They only have power over the ignorant, those people who chase their desires. But if you know what the Illuminati know, you will do greater things than they did because they're very wicked people that use it only for their own self benefit. But we're supposed to use it to heal each other and take mankind to the next level. So all I could do is teach you the science. That's it, the wisdom of Solomon, you know. And so we're going to keep it going now and learn all of this. So, yes, where we was at just now talking about. Um, Once we realize these things about ourselves, like let's take it now to how and why do we need to change, deprogram ourselves, and actually awaken? Because when we're talking about this now, you was tricked, and only way you're gonna learn and be able to come out of this is this one word, truth. It's bugged out. It's the most powerful thing in the world because you're still caught up in it. Even if I tell you this information, what truth is different from all this information. Your truth is inside of you. I'm gonna give you an example of truth. Your wife cooked this rice that you can't stand, but you eat it all the time, and you know you can't stand it. That's the fact of truth right there. That you won't tell her, look, I can't stand this rice. So when we talking this truth, this is your truth now. Everybody's a God. And you have to realize that if you being an individual, you're set to set certain things in order. You have powers within yourself. You have a whole bunch of spirits that's over you guiding you. But you also have an opposing force that's here trying to actually make you think like in Lion King you're nobody and to get out of here. So you will have to learn the force first. That's called demonology. We're under demonology when we're being programmed by television, by radio, by family members. It's the most subtlest and simplest way, hearing people talk in your ear in the background of your TV. These is putting suggestive programs into your subconscious mind. And you don't get to think and build what's inside of you, pushing out something of your own creativity. So once you realize this, this is what I caught on to that. Say, whoa, how come I didn't see these things before? I see orbs now. I could see dead people. I see living people. Tree fairies is jumping everywhere. When I go to the water, I see water spirits. It's like I live in a fairy tale. All of this was hidden from us by our own perception and what they push down on us. I try to figure it out in so many ways. Like, how come I could see, even in pictures, like I look at old pictures from the Holocaust, I could see entities in the background, in the black and white pictures, in the grass, and where the dead people, I start seeing these. And I was like, how come I never saw these before? And when I started realizing it's an orb that has something to do with your perception, that actually leave you alone and let you believe what the government tell you, what you think it is, or it could awaken you up and show you what it is. And that's why you see, when you write with your hands and use your mind, it's different from when you talk. Think about it. Like, you know a lot inside of you, but when you try to say it in words, you get 10% of what is inside of you come out. You get 15 to 20% if you just follow it writing. You get less texting. Texting, you can't express yourself. Typing it and writing, you can't express yourself. So within just your construct, you have perfection. Is expressing you. What's up, peace and love from Philly? John Benjamin, yes. Aisha Ashmodi, yes. Thank you. And so you have this to tap into. That's your truth now that you want to tap into. That one that is perfect, that even if you listen to, you be like, God damn, this motherfucker is perfect. Yo, I gotta, and you try to write it, it don't come out. You try to say it, it don't come out as smooth or perfect. It's like your truth. Those is what you need to get perceptions come out of you as great gatekeepers. All right. For you to understand all the way fully, it's like we got a pineal gland that calcifies. And speaking of calcify, I would advise you never use toothpaste. Stop using toothpaste. I stopped using toothpaste about 5 years now. Just use baking soda, and if you want to flavor it up, do it. But I would advise you to stop getting used to flavored things, sweet things, good things. Those gonna make you want more. If you put too much love into your cooking, who's gonna eat it but you? And start and wait for it. Your whole day gonna revolve around going home to go cook. I'm gonna go eat that thing. I'm gonna heat up. I'm gonna go watch TV with it. You gotta get those thoughts out your head. You gotta focus on something else that is more imperative to you than food, your work, your kids. Those type of things is distraction, because it's always repetitive in a cycle that make you can't have a free space for you to grow. Fluoride, fluoride calcifies the pineal. Yes, Anisha Ashmodi. And it also poisons your brain. It freezes and seizes your brain. You know, your pineal been calcifying from like when we first come out and we start learning. When we start educating ourselves, remember, animals communicate, all animals, no matter what part of the world, through vibrations. Nobody know this thing y'all call talk, and nobody ever needed that stuff. We communicated through as empaths or soul beings, same way, through vibrations. But once we needed words and had to put things into meaning, it started to lose its whole pure essence of your energy. You lost 50% of your energy. It's like if I say I love you, it's not the same like giving you a look. Like, you could tell when a person loves you. It's just a look. But to now say I love you, you would have to learn how to write I love you for you to express it. Fluoride in our water, spraying our skies with food with poison. Yes. And also the spraying of the skies with the chemtrail, which is all just heavy metals. You got to realize once they put the heavy metals in it, you can't ascend. You're too heavy. Let's go back, because Yahweh, the Adodaboth, he tried to first create us with heavy metals, and that's what caught us. When we have iron in our blood, think about it. Iron is what we live off of to keep us going, but it's not always like that. It changes with every yuga. The iron is in our heart. Our heart could change our biochemistry called alchemy from that when we have to change it. You actually got a Fe symbol in your heart at the center of it. The chromosome formed the Fe symbol there. That's why they call you Iron Man, or Iron Man have that. So now, being that our blood is iron based, you're surrounded by 70, 80. Is there anything beyond our imagination? No, there's nothing beyond our imagination. Imagination is everything. It's infinite. That's why it's imagination. It don't have a structural form to it or any laws because it's infinite in its nature. So if you wanted to know what was infinite, imagination and thoughts. Yes, Planet X. Thank you. All right. So now we were saying, what was we just referring to? I wanted to make a point. All right. Now, um, all of this, let's put it all together because I know I'm going to be jumbling back and forth. I see that what I'm trying to do is I know every time I go to read, I start a new subject. I want to try to balance that out because some people is interested in some parts I'm saying, then I'll jump to this and I'll lose what I was saying. How many dimensions have you discovered? Um, that's from Alicia Asmondi. You see, all of those you can't do. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and we gotta stop doing that. This is what's going on. Iron in the blood. There you go. Iron in the blood. Thank you, Layla Marie. Okay. Now, in reference to iron in the blood, and then I want to come back to that one you just said. So now, in reference to iron in the blood, I was gonna say we have like 70% water around our blood too. In the form of lymph. All of this is still light, but your blood is set to be poisoned by water. Rust. You get rust when you put iron in water. And so when you hear me say I don't drink water, it's for those reasons. I know, the alchemical reaction of what they call the what is it called? Fluidus fortuus. It's a different form of water. We get our water, which is mana, from the sun. That's where I get my water from. And I could even cock my head in a 90-degree angle where it'd be like goop, goop, goop. And this big, like, you could say light chunks, like if it was jello that you get that forms from the top cleft of your mouth that feed you. Everything you need come from light. We don't even need to eat. When we started eating, we killed ourselves. We are our own executioner by putting food in our mouth. These is higher learning that if you want to get to, but there is no food or substance that your body needs. Your body got everything in it. If you wanted a chemical such as ginger, you just had to look at the ginger and your body could make it chemically in your body. You could make marijuana in your body. Anything, you have to be the shaman and learn how to control these forces that's inside of you because you're the universe. But firstly, before you learn your biochemistry, you have to learn how to meditate and travel so that you can make ectoplasm. You know the difference. Your eyes will make a white substance, a creamy substance. That's protein. That means you're turning on your DNA flaps. It's actually you got a DNA code or whatever, but it's a protein bond that bonds to it that opens up your skin flaps to make it you have perception. You actually locked out. If your skin, you don't see your pores opening and you're not getting no sun, you're unconscious. Consciousness and expressions of the genes are expressed through the flaps of your skin opening. Like right now, if you're learning anything new from me, perception is opening. This is how you change your genetic coding right now by you understanding this knowledge, and it makes sense like 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand everything got to come like that in your life now, where you have a timeline of everything on a continuous basis. Because all they have to do to stop your genetic code is like how they do in any country they conquer. They take the people, transfer them over to another place, and put those people over here. And then these people genetics stop. Their perception is going to stop. Their consciousness is going to stop, and so is theirs. And the king wins every time. You understand? So you got to realize by not knowing what came first, what came second, what came third, what came fourth, you cannot grow, you cannot ascend, you cannot do nothing. And so every ruling party write this thing called history. History gets rid of the last ruling people. We know nothing about the Moors. We know nothing about the Ottoman Empire. We know nothing about the Arabs that ruled under Ferdinand and Queen Elizabeth. All of that was written out of history, and everybody was killed and destroyed off the earth, terminated. So this is why now we cannot just wake up today and take our information. Oh, I'm black and this is it, hip hop music. You just walked into something you don't know. I just discovered you today going down a rabbit hole in YouTube, watching a lot of your videos. You are teaching me new things. Thank you. Layla E. Marie, thank you very much. And you know, with us going down this rabbit hole, this is where we have to go to find our true self. It's the journey of distractions, man. Distractions distract us from them tapping in, and their job is to keep you distracted. Illuminati don't really care about anything more than you being better than them. It's in the prophecy, you're a god. But you have to do what they did, the initiation, the priestcraft. I track this priestcraft down and this initiation we're talking about to just how everybody on the indigenous earth lived at one time. This is not something that you had to be Illuminati, no Mason in a special society. That's why we locked out the loop. It was something that was given to a child by the time they was 10 years old or 7 years old or 14 years old. We talking times where kids was married at 12 years old. They got married off. They was adults at those ages. You got to understand it's a different system from right now, with them having to kill an animal with their bare hands or go out and hunt and do something to prove their manhood. That was their initiation. But if we don't do these things and you have TV talking to you like a little rhetorical child, hey Bobby, and it was great too. And Sarzy, yes, and get rhetorical and just when they talk like that, you stay in a low vibration. They do that on purpose. Your TV purposely push childish things. It's a childish mentality. Well, Bobby, okay. Well, okay, Susie, we're going to do this. Nobody is really living like that. Your bills have to be paid. You have kids that have to go to school. The man is cheating on you. You have your car note due. These things has to be aligned, and we have to figure out why are we chasing these credit cards coming on to us every time we'll take another one. Word, this did I miss much. They deleted your last post. I know, but I'm gonna make sure they don't delete this. I'm coming on twice today. You know, I just wanted to come on for a few, but I'm gonna start and I'm gonna organize this motherfucker too. This is catching me all off guard. In the my ascension, I'm fighting the demiurges. They got everybody in the neighborhood trying to stop me because I got very, very good powers, and they don't want y'all to know this. There's people even pay me not to let y'all know this. So it's bugged out, man. I got a crazy story in life to share with y'all with the astral and these beings. It's bugged out. But we're gonna learn all of this, and we have to. That's not their purpose is to keep reincarnating you, just making you. Greetings, Monica Suet, health. Yes, Diabolus Keeper. We still doing the meditation. Um, we could do the meditation. You know, I'll get them to the meditation. That's no problem. Yes, share, please. Okay. I will. We're gonna do a group meditations then before anything. Yes. Thank you, Laylee. I really appreciate it, and thank you for tuning in. You know, it's very positive that we support each other and only put out a positive energy. Now, I'm not saying that you know I don't do the craft, I don't do dark things, I don't do all of these things because I'm God. God does everything, and you have to know that. But you're not here to do one thing, personal gain. You're not here to take law and action into your own hands or seek justice. You're here to learn. Sometimes learning only occurs from making mistakes. You didn't learn nothing if you think you're doing it right. You can't come to me as a teacher and say, I've never made no mistakes, I've been perfect. Then you never did anything right in your life. To make mistakes is to learn. That's the only way you learn. If you didn't make a mistake, you didn't learn. So you got to understand that you're here to learn, make mistakes by you doing trial and error. You understand? You come home as the prodigal son, the same thing, prodigal daughter. Thank you. I embrace my imperfections. That's right, Monica Suzette. Your imperfections is going to be your perfections in your future. That's how you're going to learn yourself. And I'm talking, and it comes to the craft because What we're talking now, I'm not talking, we do gonna support each other in the physical world, but I don't deal with the physical world, and I don't promote nothing in the physical world. We're here to learn psychic abilities, telekinesis, psychokinesis, the ancestors, everything in the invisible world. That's what we're here to do. So, for you to do this, we have to take off of these extra stuff that we have on us in the program so you could be one with the universal field, the 0 point energy. And once you're there, pictures start coming in your head. You're an antenna, you're a Wi Fi. And not only are you that, you're a computer that could read data and then project it into other people, control their magnetic field, take control of their mind. You could take control of the weather, change it. You could change anything, your own DNA. Look real close at your pores and change your pores. Everything is part of your system that you control by love, emotions. And all of this by not trying too hard. It's all mind. So we learn everything first to control our mind, discipline our mind, because those was the things stopping us from having the power, in control of the power. The power is using us. So by discipline, we switch it around. You have said so much light on those topics. Thank you. Yes, I see Aisha Ashmodi. You know, once we do this, I want y'all to realize, start watching yourself as far as your habits. Break all your habits. You come around me, you can't have no habits. I don't mind smoking. Smoke all you want. Smoking is the best habit in the world. That's from this is from studying from ancestors and even from God telling me this. Everybody's gonna need something to take them away from the external world. It's always something. You ever notice one thing that keep you when you find, it's called being at rest. When you find something, you go to rest. So you could find a relationship or a woman or a man and you at rest. Now you're not looking no more, you're good, you're doing the right thing. Some people just dumbing their smoke. Some people just dumbing their liquor. Some people just dumbing their friends. So you want to get at rest with something that make you break all other habits now. So we're going to start breaking all your patterns so that you can isolate your energy for yourself. The ultimate level of it is to not even, all right, understand how energy is being exhausted. By you listening to me, the ether energy, or what I would call it, let's call it the actual one it is, which is your chi energy. The chi energy is what your organs work off of. So for you to listen to me, it takes you to organ energy. And so you have to burn something. And so when you're burning something, it has to be replenished. Where is it being replenished at? By your sexual energy, what we call the creative energy. So you always have a cycle going like this. This is the vortex down at your sexual point, what we call the chi, and it's actually between from the right under your navel to on a woman where her two ovaries is at. You got a vortex spinning there that you will learn is the libido. You shoot out the energy. You travel through there, and we'll learn how to do some qigong exercises that will help you. Now, with that energy, that's what feeds the organ energy to give you the chi. You understand? But the energy down there, that is the what we call the creative principle or the sexual principle, is the main energy of life. That's the ethereal energy. But up here become a different energy around your crown and your head, which we call Shen. Shem energy is a different energy. It's the highest purple energy. So you got one energy that comes as a creative principle, but break up into three energies within your body. With the chi energy is what the organs need to survive off of. Now with that, you have to learn now, like I said, listening is going to burn out that energy. So if you're too sexually active in your young years, you burn out your creative energy down there, and that stops your magic. Some people will have to do magic actually, masturbating or playing with themselves to make their force felt, to push on the magnetic field because it's electrical and magnetic. So a lot of people incorporated sexual magic into it because they wasn't making enough pressure or ounce to affect that. I think that this is 9 or 4 ounces of pressure to affect matter to make something move, and your magnetic field could do that over time. So now, anyways, once you burning that energy out because you're listening, this is where you have your energy vampires and these things that come now and try to suck your energy from you. because for you, as you get these energy taken and depleted from you, and if your sexual energy don't work, you get squirmed in, you start shrinking, you get old, wrinkled, and you die because there's no other energy it's going to be able to feed off of to bring itself, rejuvenate itself. So it's good to get out now and get air and put these prana back into your sexual energy. Abstain from sex because it's making the ether energy come back to your sex organ and giving your organs back life again so that you stop aging. After you stop aging, it start reversing and start going to your brain now, and it actually start connecting back your neurons to open up your crown chakra to start the Shem energy. So those is the whole basic concept of energy saving, saving your energy, with the number one part of it, isolation, the alchemy part of it, where if you take a bunch of trees together, it's like you get one big ball of energy that make them grow at the same level. But the one tree that's by itself, nature tends to focus on it first and evolve it fully before it tends to the whole. Greetings from Phantom Arts. God bless you, John Benjamin. I was looking at the moon and it split into three. Oh, I said I wasn't going to be doing too much of this reading. I don't want to lose too much. I caught myself. See? Programming. You got to program yourself. So now, once you see now, nature speeds up the process here. This is alchemy we're doing, which now leads to different stages of what we call biopsychology. You know, you're going to go through a psychological change, a biochemical change of changing yourself from an E1 atom to an E2 atom to an E3 atom, all the way to an E4 atom. Like if you read C.L. Leadbeater book on occult chemistry, the atom go to E4, it's an ethereal atom. That means you have a living magnetic field over you, you know. So those is the reason why you have to conserve your energy and not just exhaust it sexually and exhaust it to energy vampires, or just exhaust it worrying or stressing or fearing. Now, your energy also depends if you're a vegetarian or if you're a meat eater. You know, we look at energy in food and it's all about protein. Protein is the number one thing you need, especially astral projecting. That's why you see the gurus always drink some milk right after they come out or eat some cheese. Protein is what we survive off of. You only have two parts to you, sugar and protein. Sugar being Calvin or energy is what your body really needs. What about work exhausting energy? Phantom Arts, if you having work exhausting energy, you have to get your energy up. There's no work that can exhaust your energy. Your energy level is low, so you have to get it up. You have to get out in the sun, sunstead. You know, let me tell you what I did last night, and this will help y'all. Like for the past 3 days, I've been, like I said, I'm under attack by Doldabath and all the demiurges. No matter where I go, they attacking me. So I got people now. Everybody know I'm an alchemist. I'm an alchemist. You don't come around an alchemist. He's in isolation. You stay away from him. So they like to come and discharge my charge. I charge up. And if you come around me, it's going to discharge. And how it discharges, it works by the law of thermodynamics. Meaning if somebody is less than you, not as intelligent as you are, or they in a bad mood, depressed, your energy automatically transfers to them, and they get all your wisdom, your macabre, everything goes to them. And so now theirs get transferred to you. So you got their low energy and you're in their macabre. So you get to see their sexual shit. You get to see their kids. You get to see everything. Their memories is in their macabre. So you do what's called the law by the law of thermodynamics, an energy exchange with now hurts you, the wise one. Yes, it's real. Let me tell you, it started happening to me. So now, like, they'll come to me on purpose to discharge me after I might spend this whole day in like this. I have to do it as I grow, y'all grow. Because soon my energy grow like how Osho does it. And I could feed y'all. Y'all will feel everything. When I wave my hands, you'll be like, whoop. You'd be like, God damn, that is done. And I do that. But since I done met these people and they found out about me, they just come and exhaust the energy. They get to the point where when I talk, they could see what I'm saying. They be like, yo, how you do that? When you talk, I could see it. And that's all the stuff it does. It does the most incrediblest things. I could bring my neighbors here and they'll be like, yo, this dude is not human, man. I swear to God, I'm not kidding you. So now, when you see it exhaust and by the law of thermodynamics, they take it from you. They actually see what it's like to be in the heaven world, see what it's like to be in perfect peace, and they don't want to give it back, and you have all type of problems. They want to come around you, and they know what you're doing, so they exhaust that energy and it zaps. So what I did these past 2 3 days, I locked myself in. I don't need for nothing because the prior, no, not 3 days. I said that wrong. I was experiencing 3 days of talking to my neighbor, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours at a time. And when I come upstairs, I had to fall out. I mean, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't think. I just wanted to sleep. And it's abnormal. I'm saying, no, this isn't right. Something isn't right. And I couldn't do my energy work. I'm going to teach y'all what energy work is and everything about it so you get the concept. So now, with everything, I was feeling so weak and just had to go to sleep. By day 3, I said, all right, I'm not going to interact with nobody and just lock myself in my room for the whole day. I had so much energy. I couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't sleep the next day. It was just like an overabundance of energy. So I said, okay, that's what's going on. You see, when we talk about the isolation, you won't ever need sleep. You will never run out of energy. It's who you're interacting with that takes it from you. Yes, Layla. And once they take it from you, you can't get it back. Sometimes they take your macabre too, and you experience like things that don't have nothing to do with you. Like for me, my world is a very explored world that I know in details to every corner, every curve, every crevice inside myself, in my subconscious world, which is this world too. And so when you see foreign entities, foreign beings, and it's weird, like say you have your cousin and you can see your cousin's kids and their aunt. They're in your macabre or you're in their macabre. Straight like that. Yes, I've experienced that as well. Aisha Lear, take them out your mind. Stop being concerned about them and have them stop being concerned about you. Make some type of disagreement with them so that they stop and fall back from you. Because that's how the thermodynamics work and they attach to you. Some of them is actually not what we see them as because we all look human. I had to learn this. No, we're not. Us like one of my neighbors is actually the beast. When he come around, it's like my car is like woo woo, woo woo, woo woo, woo woo, start shaking like, and then all of a sudden I just feel and I see demons, these creatures. Gotta detach. Yes, detach. So the greatest thing how to detach from these type of energies is to either make it so they don't think about you. Don't make an argument with them because then when them hating or angry, it increases by 1,000 folds that woo woo feeling or whatever they sucking your life force, they'll take it more. But if you could just separate yourself or catch it before it's coming, tell them stop thinking about you. Yo, leave me alone for a little while. I don't want to be bothered. All of a sudden, those images go away. A lot of your dreams and your nightmares ain't from you. It's from you caring and sympathizing with other people, and they done switch macabre with you. And some people, they know inside they've been living all their life with a fucked up macabre. Say they got raped, molested, their father did that. They live with that. I thought Canaanite would work for vampires, Canaanite. Well, nothing really works for vampires because vampires is not just conscious, it's unconscious too. It's their spirit trying to survive. Sometimes they're cut off from God. The ether energy is what we call God. They cut off from ether energy and they have to feed off of each other's energy, which is another human being. They feed off of your life force because you're getting it. So they might just be talking with you like I'm talking with you, but their energy or spirit is feeding. And you'll just feed it later like you're weak and you're out of it. And it becomes something that eventually your life force energy get cut off down to your sexual energy, and then you living off only your organ energy, and you have to go feed off of other people and do the same thing they're doing. That's the mark of the beast. That's how he get everybody to be vampires. These are what half of the ancient ones that's divided between gods and the vampires. The vampires use the moon and they suck off of each other's energy, always making drama ass motherfuckers. And then you got the sun ones. The sun ones don't talk. They like Buddha. They get their energy from the sun. They isolate themselves. They don't care about nobody, and they got enough energy to feed 1 million vampires. You understand? But them two is in duality. They both come from the ancient ones, but one was succumbed by the beast. And so they're here in genetics and bloodlines and generations and heredity, still doing the same thing. When I told you the tracking of the people, the indigenous people, when we're talking from the Maria, we're going back to the beginning, was actually the pygmies. These kind of people attached to me. Yes, Layla, you can't get rid of them. They're vampires, and you have an open Merkaba because of your Karen empath. You know what? I'm gonna read a little bit to you from the Knowledge of Empath book, so that everybody get an idea of how an empath is succumb to these type of energies, and there's nothing they could do about it, and they're victimized by it until they learn how to overcome it and fight off energies. So I'm gonna just do a quick little book reading from just an empath, so you get a general description of it, not just from my description, which is kind of so. All right, I got this one called. It's by Sydney Compass. It's called Empath Experience, and I find it very, very informative. I'm gonna show you if you want to see the cover or whatever. This is this is it right here. Okay, yes, we feeling both, because I definitely feel like an empath. John Benjamin, yes. All of us is actually empaths, and if you're not empath yet, you're scheduled to evolve into an empath through alchemy. It's coming as your perception grows. Everybody's an empath. It's the only way back to heaven. You understand? But to get to heaven, heaven is protected by the underworld too. So the underworld is what separates this world from the parallel world. And so they protect us from our human spirits, our thought forms that we create. They always on the battlefront in the midst. When you look at the horizon on the water, there is no other actually going to, like how we say, China. When you pass any horizon, any mist, it's a parallel you're going to. It's a magnetic field at the end of anything you could see, and you're going across to a parallel. It's like going through a mirror. And anyone they done took um, boats and shot them over the horizon and had cameras following them. Once they hit the horizon, they're trying to prove the flat earth theory. No, it don't work. You can't, because once something hit the horizon, it's no longer real. It's an illusion. It's in the parallel. So you can look at anything that try to go over the horizon and video it. The cameras don't work, and the image now is not stable no more. So the parallel is always here. It's your doorway. It's the parallel. Anything that's beyond a mist, beyond the sand, that's a real fact. And those underworld beings is there to protect us. But when it's time for you to go back, you're allowed to go through yourself into the subconscious, up through the crown, and head on the journey back. And for you to do it, it's only no physical body no more. So you have to be psychic, which means everything works through a force, an energy. And so that's the only way they could affect you, is through actually being an empath. You're sensitive to all energies, because this body is going to leave. This only, is only good for the respiratory system and the nervous system and all those things. But once body doubling you in your astral body and ethereal body, this flesh renders you no feeling. So they got their way. It's even in all books to tell you that when you awaken, it's a different you. Let me now hit up this empath book, so that a lot of y'all could touch up on yourselves to understand what an empath is, because a lot of y'all is empaths and don't know it. Seriously. Okay. He starts off, he said, I first learned the word empath when I was about 25 years old. Perhaps I heard of it before. I'm not sure I remembered exactly, but in any case, it didn't fully land until I was truly ready to receive it. You see, it had taken me a long road to search and suffer from, and some suffering to get the place where I truly ready to start taking care of myself. Hold on, I've been noticing I could get more specific with my reading instead of just targeting from the beginning, because I will waste people's time and energy. Let me get to the actual symptoms of an empath so that you can know really. 1 second. Okay, what is an empath? Here it is. An empath is someone born with the initiate ability to feel and understand what other people's, as well as other living things such as animals, and in some cases even plants, are feeling and experiencing. That's a fact. The key to deciding whether or not you are an empath is to ask yourself if you truly feel the energetic, emotional, and physical experiences of other living beings, or even the entire planet, as though they were your own. Being an empath is also often associated with clear sentiences, which signifies an intuitive ability to intentionally harness empathic tendencies as the gift that they truly are. That's right, being an empath comes with special superpowers, especially once the bearer becomes conscious, aware of his or her unique capacity to feel and process and energetic information at such a heightened degree. Now, there is a difference, they say, between being an empath and empathic. Now, here's where they tell you being an empath versus being empathic. The empath experience is not to be confused with feelings of compassion or empathy. Now, it says every living being is to some extent empathic, but certain beings experience the condition more strongly than others, and as such may identify as empaths outright. If you feel compassion or empathy towards others, you may feel sadness, hopefulness, or perhaps a desire to help them feel better. If you are an empath, you will experience the pain, suffering, emotions, and physical sensation or other emotional, spiritual, or physical information emanating from other beings as though it is your own. You may also feel hopefulness or a desire to help other beings. Let's say a friend tells you that his long life family dog passed away. A person experiencing empath would feel sad for the friend, have compassion for the effect that loss has been um, has had on everyone connected to the dog, and would perhaps offer to help in some way before moving on with his day-to-day life. An empath, however, wouldn't only feel empathy and compassion for the loss, but would also feel the depth of sadness, loss, possible depression, grief, and though that this loss had happened to her personally. If the friend describing the loss of the family pet is feeling a heaviness in any particular part of his body, perhaps pain in his stomach and a headache from not sleeping very well, the empath is likely to feel the same bodily aches in her body as well, just like they were on her own. And instead of feeling compassion and then simply letting it go, the empath will continue to be affected emotionally and physically for days or possibly even longer, depending on how intensely the experience has been imprinted on them. I would like to say right there on that part though. Now I do get those, and that's how I learned I was an empath. But it's the most beautifulest thing in the world if you're trying to be a spiritual healer. In a one-on-one communication, and a person tell you their ailments or their pain is yes, it comes right to you and you feel it. But I kid you not, wherever the pain is, say it was a heart pain, you just take your hand when you feel that pain and you're talking to that person and put your hand over the part that's hurting, and their pain go away as you heal yourself. Just take your pain away. Even if you don't feel the pain, but you feel the energy, or you feel the connection to them, like if it was just now, touch where it could be. It could be a shoulder that's bothering them, a headache. Grab both sides and just tell them the pain is going to go away right now. Take your pain away and you take their pain away. You're connected through the magnetic field. That's the good part about being an empath. And it don't just work with healing. You could do Reiki the same way. As long as you could connect with them and you could feel their energy, you could do it long distance, texting, video chatting, any type of way, on a phone call. Yeah, it's real. All right. As empath, sometimes it can even feel like you're reading other people's mind. Like you can thoroughly understand what another person means in the deepest sense of whatever it is or he or she is trying to say or convey. And all of this happens subconsciously without even trying. It is automatic program, always running on high alert. And that's what you got to realize. That's the God power. That's what we call the Holy Spirit. This comes down onto you. A person come, you just start reading them. You know everything about them. And the funny thing is, they might even deny it because it's like I said, it's the deeper side of them. That's the tarot. You like the tarot master. I call him the juggler because you can sense all their spirits that's not just on them, that's actually encouraging them for future good, and the ones that's discouraging them for the bad present. So an empath has the ability to sense all of this. Now, you got HSPs too. These is highly sensitive persons, which is different from an empath. So we're going to talk about that real quick. He says another interesting consideration when it comes to empaths and other intuitive distinctions is the difference between empaths and their highly sensitive and a highly sensitive person, which is called an HSP. Elaine Aron, PhD from the Foundation of the Study of Highly Sensitive Person, estimate that 15 out of 20% of the world's population is highly sensitive. No one knows exactly how many HSPs are also empaths, but doesn't really matter. What's important is that you know that you're alone as an empath. Which is what's important is that you know you're not alone as an empath. The thing that sets HSP apart is their extremely sensitive nervous system. They tend to be affected more by temperature, sound, visual stimulation than non-HSPs. And you know what? A lot of people caught up in that because I definitely feel like and especially when it comes to cell phone signals, Wi-Fi signals. Yo, when I first became an empath, yo, I couldn't even have on the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi was attacking me. Yo, it was the funniest thing in the world because you know us, we like the government is this and that. So I thought too. Even YouTube, when I watch YouTube videos, YouTube got little orbs in there, man. It got little things in there hidden to program you. You can sense it more when you're an empath. I used to have to hide and watch YouTube like this so that the energy won't mess with me. And I swear to God, it's crazy. And so when you become an empath, it's the first steps to becoming having the Jesus power to heal. That's the real gift that you have, the power of healing through your hands. So from there, I'm gonna take you. That adds, uh, the ads are the worst. I know. All right, I'm gonna take you into energy vampires, the basic concepts, so that we get the actual, you know, you could say descriptive from the textbook of it. Because once you get an understanding of it, you will see it from the perspective that it's not always them victimizing you, but sometimes people are born vampires and don't know they're attacking people unconsciously. And a lot of them, they have personality types that actually play out splits in their personalities and do all types of acting just to steal your energy and put themselves in the woe me, help me, the pleaser, all the different types just to get themselves caught up. So I had a good one I wanted to read to you. Here we go. Holy hungers. Let me see. Let me go to the beginning. So if you want to get this, this is a good one. Who's the author? This is by Barbara E. Hort. Holy hungers. Vampire. Encourage encountering the vampire, the psychic vampire in ourselves and others. Whoa. Okay. Now I'm just like I said, I'm just doing quick little run through so you get a quick understanding that these things is real and exist. And who is a vampire? What is a vampire? My favorite one about this because I'm more Solomon, and we're gonna get into Solomon in the ring. I'm here to catch demons. You know, I woke up to that. I'm a demon catcher, pretty much like a Constantine. So I track all of this stuff down, and we got I want to show you this. Let me see. You see what's the right here? I knew it was gonna switch. How did I do that? How did I do that? So I was trying to hold it there. All right, the word for vampires. I make it nice and big. You see the first, the what? The beast. That's how come I tracked it down. You see, I study the beast. And he's a psychic vampire, but he's in everybody. I just want you to see that word, the beast. So let's read it. Meeting the psychic vampire. It says, the beast has always been with us. For as long as our hearts have pumped blood, for as long as our souls have glowed with life, for as long as we have yearned for love, the beast has always been there, snaring and starling. And that's funny, when you're saying snaring and starling, that's what he is. He's a dog. I hope y'all know the beast is Ouroboros, the dog. You understand? I'm gonna get more into that. We could study that, and I could explain it, because he's just a pet of some dark, the one who controlled this Kali that we call it. Which I'm gonna break it down so you understand. That's Ogun still. Ogun is still on the Kali. It's like a weird system, but I'm not gonna talk about it until I'm gonna show you everything in pieces. So I might talk weird, but just bear with me. Let's just finish this beast off, because we need to know how they take over, these energy vampires come about. So it's a snaring and stalking, drooling and scheming. It licks its full soft lips in anticipation of its next warm meal. For the beast is essentially a feeding thing. Oh yes, it's many faces, all of them human, and it has our enduring manners as well. But these human graces are camouflage, born of necessity. They are they are the disguise that enables the beast to prevail. Beneath it is a veneer of humanity. The core of the beast is hunger, and survival is its only goal. The beast hungers for survival, but not for life, as we know it, since life implies the warmth of a beating heart and the light of a shining soul. The beast has neither heart nor soul. It has only a clever mind and an insatiable hunger. To survive, the beast must appease its hunger, and it can feed only on the things it lacks, the essence of life. So the beast must prey upon us, the living. It must suck our lifeblood and drain our life force. It was, if we are lucky, we will merely die. If we are less fortunate, we will succumb to the deepest horrors of the beast's predilection, which is the most of its, which is that most of its victims will not die. Instead, we will become the thing to which we have fallen prey, and we will be compelled to feed in the same parasitical way. So you see, this is how he does it. He don't want to kill you. He just wants you to become one of him, so that you could become a vampire nation. And we are doing that in our own communities. Urban communities just vampires, man. I'm telling you now. And that's the whole thing. We got to wake up. So all this black and this, we got to get that together, man. Because we don't know who we are amongst each other. We're the only assassins and killers of our own selves. It ain't them. If we was to wake up and look at them, we'll turn this around. But we so scheming on each other, we can't look at them. We're looking at each other. Okay. Now, if we are lucky, we will merely die. Oh, I already read all this. So, thus the feeding frenzy spreads, swelling into a bestial legion whose progenitors haunted prehistory. The beast is ancient and global and growing. It has many stories and shares without number, and all like shadows, elusive and dim. But the name that we can call this beast itself is clear, cold, and precise. We call the beast vampire. So I make that word big for you. So you see the word vampire come up as the beast. The beast is the vampire. So when we talking vampire, we talking the beast. I just want you to understand. Now, let's do the rest of this page so that you can finish it out. The story of the vampire is as old and as tangled and as evil as any on earth. Our contemporary model for the vampire is the beast whom we call Dracula. So I will begin my storytelling with Dracula's tale, but first I must warn you, do not be deceived into thinking that Dracula's truth is the only truth of the vampire. Do not believe that the lurid details of blood and fangs and bats and garlic are some of the vampire's existence. Let me see what that says over there. Give me some simple techniques for meditation, breathing, intentions of peace and mind, and on Ascension. All right, let's get into that. Starstruck. Okay, good. Let's do that. All right. So we're supposed to get into some meditations. Let's do that because I'm gonna run out in a minute. All right. So instead of me trying to instruct you and talk to you, let's just do one all together. Send some energies through to y'all. All right. So everybody get comfortable and get in a seated position. Again, if you want on the floor in your asana position, you know, whatever you want to get into, but I advise you to get comfortable. Now, I just want everybody now to get everything off their mind. You know, if you got anybody around you, just forget about them for a minute and just relax. I want you to just relax. Take deep breaths through your nose, not too deep. Just breathe in and out slowly through your nose. I want you to relax your hair on the top of your head. Just relax the muscles up there. I want you to relax the muscles on your forehead. Let them all just come into this halt now. Make them all at peace with themselves. I want you to relax your eyebrows. I want you to relax the tension between your pineal gland from staring at the screen all this time. I want you to relax the muscles all around your nose bridge. Just calm it all down in there. Let the wrinkles all around your eyes from staring and, being angry, just relax. Let the flow come down to your cheeks. As it come down on your cheeks, feel the energy just making you relax, letting all your muscles turn nimble. Your jaws just turning nimble, your cheeks turning nimble. As the energy kisses you on your lips, you just relax, breathe out. Now, as this energy starts to breathe out, just imagine it going down your throat chakra with every breath you exhale out. I want you to inhale back now. Squeeze your abdomens as you exhale out. Pull them in. Pull in your stomach, your abdomens with these breaths from your throat down now. So you blow out and just pull in your abs. Now when you breathe in, the chest don't come in. Just breathe in slow. If you see your chest moving, you're moving it too fast. So slowly breathe in. And breathe it out. Now, when you get into this stage, you start to squint your eyes a little, let your eyes relax. Everything get glary, because you're going to need to make some ectoplasm now, some protein. This is where we get the genetics into it, while you just relax. Your breathing should be calm. Your muscles should be calm. Your shoulders calm. Your fingers is calm. Right now, you should just be a tranquil ball of energy. As you start to squint your eyes now, glares are starting to come in. Soon you feel yourself being overwhelmed by a magnetic field. This magnetic field now holds everything in place. So to move your arms will be the hardest thing to do. Just to move a finger will be so hard. Everything is difficult because this magnetic field is holding you in place. Now squint your eyes to optimum to get to see bar lines, vertical lines, horizontal, vertical lines going up and down. Squint your eyes. As you relax and take these breaths, they're going to become watery. This is the start of you making protein, ectoplasm. Now, if you're watching me, stare at my pineal gland. You need a 0 point to stare at as you do these glares or whatever. So my pineal gland would be a perfect place for either the black dot or just to look at my pineal. Your breathing's supposed to be at a very low rate. It's very rare breathing, inhaling or exhaling. You're just being right now. You forget about breathing. Forget about thinking. You're nobody. You don't exist. You don't have no problems. You wasn't here. Just be. Experience and feel. Now, you've been staring at a while for my pineal. As we stare, I want you to close your eyes all the way. With the last image you see of the pineal, have it embedded into your eyes now to see as you journey to the parallel. You're going to take that image, capture it, and start to just see yourself in dark space. And just that image is in front of you. It should start moving after a while. Allow it to be like an entrance, a gateway that you go through. If you're able to perceive it like a door and go through, you're going to just see yourself in space with nothing around you. No floor, no walls, no nothing. And just that image that is mobile, it can move. Now slowly take one breath in a little bit more than usual. This breath you're going to use in perception to picture yourself blowing this air out your pineal gland. It's like you open a flap in your pineal, and as you inhale this breath, the exhale, try not to breathe too much out of your mouth or anything, just push it through your pineal to make your pineal flap back and forth, to get it oscillating. Feel the energy as you blow out. You're the one who make your pineal resonate and vibrate. So turn it on now. Okay. Now, everyone now, I want to make a Megan shield, a field. So I want you to take your hand and hold them about 5 inches apart. I want you to pull back and forth on them with the most subtle of energies, like you're going like this, but even way softer that you don't even feel yourself. It doesn't move, you just feel force. Once you get this elasticity or the field up, just hold it there. Now sponge on it like if it was a soft sponge, just a little bit in and out. Pivot in and out, just a little on the field. Then pull it back like a rubber band and hold it right at the field's maximum pull on each other. That's Iden Pingala, Isis and Osiris. You should feel a tingling in the center of your palm of your hands. Calcification. As you open and close them, just pull them in and out a little bit now. You should feel like a strong magnetic field building up, pulling it out, like if it was a slinky toy that's spinning in and out. This you're sending ripples out through your vibratory Merkaba field. This is actually how you build up the energy of your Merkaba field to the toroidal field. Then hold it still. Now take this field and expand it all the way out to form your hands into the tall position. Once you're in the tall position, just hold your hands there now. Turn this way. You can reopen your eyes and stare back at the pineal gland again. Eventually, you're going to feel a lot of pressure coming down on your shoulders and arms as I send you energies from the ethers now. And pull down on just the magnetic force. There we go. Hold them straight. I know some of them feeling pressure that's making you want to pull down. Hold them up. Take the pressure. You're expanding your magnetic field. If you're feeling pressure coming down on your arms, the shoulders, intensify it now. And slowly, I want you to come into a front hand very slowly. Open your palms so they face inwards, and you're going to close that energy that you're feeling very slowly. Bring it in very slowly. You want to feel the magnetics of it as it intensifies in your muscles and your arms very slowly. This is how we give back to the ancestors now. Keep your focus on the pineal gland because the magnetic field works with the pineal. So you should be at 0 point concentration at the period, the dot. That's what brings up the magnetic field. By the time you bring your hands to the front of you, it becomes a sacrifice, like you're giving to the ancestors. You should feel a lot of energy on your shoulders, on your hand. This is how you start building up etheric energy flowing. At this point, it's like the etheric energy starting to run over you now. As you build up the field, the magnetic field, you know. So from there, I want you to make the pyramid. Just feel it in your shoulders, your arms, everywhere. You should feel the energies pulling down on you. Now, we could go into different parts to it, but I just wanted to give you the basics. All right, now pull its energy into your heart. Everything goes to your heart chakra to balance out your heart. So you will do it slow enough that you feel your own energies, all that pressure you're feeling. You're going to keep it, harness it, and turn it in and push it into your heart. You'll still feel that like it's a magnetic field, you know, and you'll feel pressure as you go in. So you will want to take this now, and this is going to help to boost your Merkaba, get your Merkaba started, you know. And this is first level of meditation, you know. I'm teaching you this because a lot of people will want to meditate to clear their mind, to do this. We're not here for that. You're here to build up your Merkaba and get your Merkaba spirit. That's what you're here to do. And so you have to do the exercises that's going to flip your diamond or flip your root chakra. You have your crown to spin first. as these petals, the lotuses, and you have them at the root of your feet too. If you ever look at the Egyptians, they always got two balls, and they on their knees, they in some type of compromising position. That's how you activate your macabre. You understand? So we shouldn't be thinking we just here to sit and just don't think, don't do nothing. You know, that's cool for your mind, for illumination, for you to get rid of duality within yourself. Everything in life, we have to accept it. This is God's science. There's nothing God didn't make. Everything God made. Your thing is why you see this as good, why you see that as bad. God made both of them. So you have to align yourself and take the duality out of it and see what he's trying to show you. So we do in mind meditation to dissolve our duality within ourselves, to be one, a light and being. But to be the power in that. Thank you, Diablos expert. Yes, all my meditation, I tell y'all, fuck y'all up. Y'all think this is a game. Y'all be having magnetic power, just be like boom, and the energy. I'm telling you, it's very powerful energy. It stop people too, man. There's people who go to hit you and can't hit you. Your mind control them. You render them, they can't do nothing. They could go to shoot you, can't do nothing. It's a matrix. This is a program. Everything is a program mathematically. If you know the mathematical answer to everything, nothing can be stopped you and nothing can be given to you. It's what magic is about. So let's build up the field. To be honest, this morning I had more as far as I had prana exercises, and my internet went out at 10 o'clock when I was going to come on. So, well, we missed the whole prana thing. I'll try to get it tomorrow. But that is your basic exercise to help build up your strength. The tar is a very serious position. If you want the spiritual significance of everything, yes, Danielle Kenyan, the spiritual significance, they call that not just the tar too, but it's also called the worm. And you would do that to your four elements. If you live in a house, you would do it to the four corners: earth, air, fire, water. And there you're giving yourself up as to the ancestors. They're your witness that you take back control as a sovereign person. You're no longer under government control. You have your mind, and you're saying to the universe, I'm responsible for my action, and I take action for myself. Because if not, you're going to be just recycled and called the blameless. Nothing happens to you. You don't discern nothing. You're just part of the blameless. And so you don't want to be a part of the blameless. You want to get to sun. You want to be sun and then air to the sun. Can you show us that tar, how you spell it? T-A-U, tar. Tar, like, that's the difference between the cross and the tar is up here. So when we summon it with it, using it to do magical feats, yes, Christopher Anderson, you have to dedicate yourself by first emancipating yourself. You don't belong to God. You belong to Shaitan. You belong to nature forces and the earth. You only see earth things, material things. You don't see divine things. Your soul isn't awake. So you don't belong to God, nothing up here yet, until you start looking up there and seeing these things. And then you say, okay, you're not a student of the earth no more. And nature, the elements ain't got you, and your desires ain't got you. You're awake now. So once you become awake, that's what the first things you're going to start doing. You want powers like your father. You want to be like your father. You're the son now. You're no longer a servant. So you defeat the elements, leave the schoolmaster, and you become son, heir to the father. When you become an heir to the father, it's a lot of morals now that's involved into this, because you're getting powers. You cannot use it to hurt people. How are you going to know if you're using it to hurt people or not? It's this education that you need now to learn what Orisha is, Wudong is, all the different sciences, so you don't get yourself caught up in this. This is your only path, but you're caught up already because you believe somebody's mind. We're living in somebody's mind. This is their reality. It's not your reality or anybody chosen. It's already pre-programmed. But it's not an option. You have now an option to change it and make up your own. If you didn't have one, this is what's here for you as default. But it's up to you to create what you're going to learn. But first, learn the science, natural science, nature. Take away man-made things. You need to just learn what God put here because you're of that. The food you eat, if it ain't from God, don't eat it. When you go to the store, if it's in a box, a bag, that's not from God. Go to where it's from God. You're from God, no matter how you put it. You can't put artificial things in a natural God body. I have to use him as your reference point, else not, we're going to lose ourselves. So what does it mean when the moon splits into three instead of two? Well, if John Benjamin, the moon splitting into two or three, it's more of a trinity you're looking at, and I don't know what part of your spirituality you're in or whatever, but it does have a significant meaning. I don't know if you traveled the three or you even traveled the second one yet, much less the first one. So each one is a journey that you have to travel. One is a masculine principle, one is the feminine principle, and one is the sun. It's the trinity of the moon. But like I said, I would have to hear your personal experiences and guide you through it. Now, anybody that's seeking little help in initiation and want, personal one-on-one, you could hit me up for that, and I could guide you more than the group talk. The group talk, I'm only going to give you the basic laws. Yes, Maria Munan, you're welcome. Will this live be recorded and available on your channel? I got kicked off due to no service. Starstruck, yes, this one will be here definitely. John Benjamin will do, and thank you. Yes, you know, I do want. How can we protect our energy from vampires? All right, Aisha, you see the meditation we did? That was a protection meditation. You see, only thing that makes a difference, and I'm gonna teach you this because it's magic. We have to learn magic. I'm gonna tell you about heavy metals too. Magic, right? With it being imagination, and that's what God gave us only magic. Anything you want, you could achieve through your imagination, through your will, through your desire. That's where this world got chaotic because once we left the demographics of, the peoples of the original, we had diabolical desires, deception, and the worst one of all, I'm human. We're for mankind. We're peoples. We don't want what the gods want. We don't want what the ancient ones want. And don't realize these motherfuckers is gonna come apart on you like this. Oh yeah, you don't want what we want. They're gonna float off of you, and you're gonna be nothing like who you think you is. You're nothing. They're you. And so that once you realize that, you will have to learn your macabre because that's how you get out your body, which is matter. You're the energy. And so when you do that, you go to war with yourself. Think about it. Tell yourself, I'm not eating for today. Tell yourself that and stick to it. Tell yourself, I'm not looking at my phone for today and stick to it. You want to see a war? Do something real. Think about it. Ask yourself, why do I do these things? Why these habitual things that I do? And you will see wars start taking place within your own psychology. How do you feel about altars? Do you have one? Oh yeah, look right here. As a matter of fact, you see mine's right there. Simple. You know, believe this is a little dark, but this is all crystal right here. It's a big ass heavy motherfucking crystal you could barely pick up. But I got my altar. But, it's to the money god. That's it. I'm God already. I don't pray to lower beings. They work for us. And if you follow what the ancestors did, that's why we not God. And God don't exist. Because you have to step up and be God. When you do, they'll put you on the throne and show you what you're supposed to do. None of us know what we're supposed to do. Pharaoh don't know what he's supposed to do. They the ones who have the upper kingdom and the lower kingdom. Your higher self and lower self is a world, the spheres, the Sephiroth. But the Pharaoh is the one that controls it, the God of the time, like Jehovah. Y'all know Jehovah ain't the real God, but he holds a position. So do you. So there, we make these altars in respect, honor of who we are, our ancestors. But the power reside in you. You're the mind. Remember, you live in the mind. Everything is mind. If you could remember, you could be. You understand? And that's what you're trying to do. Remember, take off the program. So if I encourage you to go build the altar and worship the altar, you will take the power out of yourself, and that would be my fault for sending that power into the altar. I want you to build your altar out of respect, not because you need it, not as your source of power. Altar is the same like my room. My room is my altar because when I do my meditations, when you do these meditations, it's like you're taking out the splits in you. You're fixing a lot of things in you. So say you had a split that your parents left you when you was younger, and it's a little brat child in there that hate your mother for some reason. Now it comes out as a being, and it's floating around in your room all the time. It's there, and so you doing an altar is not the same as seeing that split. You can see the split if you stay with me and I teach you. The powers within you and are the one. Yes, exactly. So, Papa Legba, have you experienced them? Yeah, Papa Legba. Yeah, that's number one experience. I could talk about him for a while, but let's finish this off now. So when you take out the spirits out of you, your splits, every time you meditate, you're taking stuff out of you that's blocking you. The governor switch on you, and you're leaving them in the room. So the ancient way is when you get your temple. That's why we call it. Everybody has a temple. Your temple is more sacred than anything because your spirits float in there. So the magician, he has a secret room, even if it's a closet, that when he go in there, he want to use his intentions. And I'm gonna go back to that we spoke with the how do you stop energy vampires? And it's just the same as the meditation, meaning, excuse me, put yourself in a bubble though this time. You see how we did the Megan shield? The shield is to actually not just put you in a bubble, but to help get your Merkaba spinning. But imagine yourself putting yourself in an egg, and then do it before the person comes. It's the same as you disconnecting psychically from them, because this is all psychic stuff, psychology, meaning it don't have a physical effect to it. This is all thought forms that act real. So for you, you have to be more perceptive in your thought form. You understand what I'm saying? So if you said to yourself, there's a shield around me, he can't penetrate that shield because you got your spirits that put that shield. So he comes in the room, he's unconscious, he's the beast. So the beast spirit is coming attacking you, attacking your magnetic field, attacking your cells. And so he just talking to you, yeah, so how was the weather? Yeah, really? And you did this? Yeah. And you're over there feeling bad and don't know, or you don't know the attack take place until after they leave, and you just catch like a diabetic sugar attack and you feel like you weak or something, you just feel anxiety. But that's how it works. The actual person sometimes is not conscious of it until somebody have the heart to tell them what type of energy they're giving off or radiating, or what the cause of what they do over the time. Every time I see you, this occurs. Then they start being conscious of it, and they either take them in a bad place to find out they're a beast, or a good place. You got to realize an energy vampire is something cut off from God. They don't have no ethereal energy, no source power. They hate the sun. They cannot go to the sun, even if they're black. It doesn't matter. They'll tell you they can't stand the sun. They love the moon. They're moon beings. Moon don't produce its own energy. Remember, the moon reflects the sunlight. So the moon has no power of its own. It's a dead thing. So them moon worshippers have to be succubuses and energy vampires, as above, so below. What about the power of now? People are saying when you meditate, you are opening yourself to demons. Is that true of only half truth? All right, you're opening yourself to the magnetic field. You're opening yourself to the universe. You're opening yourself to, oh shit, your insides. If you're living in this world, you're seeing what's inside of you in this world. It's as above, so below. Demions. Now, yeah, That's the thing. When we call demons, or Christian way of saying it, is a negative way to try to scare you. If you read such books as Asclepius, the apocalypses of what we call incubus. Incubus tell you, and you got these people that tell you what demions is. The Greek tell you what demions is. Demions is your higher self. That is your higher self. And so there is no demon that's out to get you. Why do demons attack you? Why would demons kill you? Demons will kill you because you believe you're you. It's only you, the demon, killing yourself because you're a European program with a program language, a program perception that they're bad. They don't care about that stuff. They already know who you are. You're many beings, and one of them is the demion first. Your first being over yourself is the demion, the air spirit. Then you got the angelic spirits up in the ether. That's you too. You're the angel, but you're unconscious of it. That's why you're trying to remember. So there's no demon that could attack you, take your body, and it's these things that you're producing in thought forms that is actually creating this in the astral world, and you believe these things that actually make your world negative and bring these into physical form into your life. Once you have these things actually in your thoughts, they become in your macabre. Once you believe them, that is what your DNA expresses, and you're living in DNA. Legba was the first gatekeeper I met. Then Loki, Hades, pretty freaky experience at first. Yes, Legba controls this whole world. Legba is the beast's sheath. You're in the beast sheath with that. You gotta understand shadow. When you talk in shadow world, something makes cast the shadow for us to exist. If you take perfect light like that white, and it's the light, we couldn't exist in it. We'll be overshadowed by the light. Something have to overshadow you so you could cast a shadow in the light. You're the shadow in the light. You can never be the light. You understand? Because then you would be the white chalkboard, nothing on it. So there's something, because the white chalkboard is here, the light is here. But how come we could exist in it and be seen? Like when the stars come out at night, but you don't see it in the day and it's there. So your Legba, Hat Man, all this is part of one family that make your reality real. It's the sphere of God. It's the sphere of the physical, the visible world. Shadow beings started first, became more demonic, aliens, and so forth until we became the physical. Well, before we go demons, you got your Neanderthal, your hominin, your Cro-Mango. How many, look at all the different phases we went through, not just in shadows and in angelics and in reptilian, but also in just the different species of man before he became the Homo sapien or Homo erectus. So you see it right there, and you got periods in time like the primordial period of what Lovechild write about, that he tells you that we had a demon age where the demons fought against the aliens. When we talking the demons and the aliens, you're talking the shadow world, demons, God's beings, God peoples. And this is occurring when the earth was one planet closer to the sun. It was a dark, dark, dark place. Only dark beings could come out of the earth. There's this movies on somebody sent me a link to go get it, and it was a good movie. I liked it. Dark Skies or something like that. Iron Sky. And yes, it's just like that movie Iron Sky, where everybody come from the inner earth. Like when you meditate, you going in. It's nothing outside of you, and you're the God. You're in your own magnetic field. Okay. Now, when you go into the inner, you come in the outer. You come out. That's what it is. It's an inverse operation that give you your realness. So you invert. And so everything comes from the inner universe, or the inner Agatha, or what we call the inner earth, is actually a replication, so you understand, of the whole system of the crown chakra through the bottom of your foot, or the anus of north and pole south, with that same energy vortex rolling in two fields that make toroid or a donut. And it's the same thing and replicated in your body. So, that's important for you to understand. That's what you really are. And that's how your body really works. And you're many beings. You're a community. Never look at yourself as one person, else you'll never be able to tap into your will. You'll never tap into your intuition. You'll never tap into your ancestors. You've seen yourself as one being. But you're made up of earth, air, fire, water, and plus ether, the fifth element, the quintessence. The quintessence now is the fifth element that takes the of us and make them one. In the universe, you only have those four elements, earth, air, fire, water, that makes the sub-elements. But if you know just the basic earth, air, fire, water, you know that you exist in earth, you exist in air, you exist in fire, you exist in water. That's four states of you still existing and at the same time, simultaneously at once. So I am you and you're me. We're both the tree and we're both the water and we're both the rock. If you could see this perceptionally, then you could control the tree, the rock, me, and the water. But if you can't see it and you see us all as individual, you don't have no connection to none of us. You understand? And when you start connecting yourself in those ways, then you will see with your eyes. You have two eyes. You have a third eye, and these eyes do not see. This not. They don't work for seeing. They work to give you the image. What make it make sense is this eye. It's like they don't. This don't go to the brain. This eye go to the brain. This goes to this, the mind. And but the mind still can't perceive it till the third eye tell it what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So in this reality, you're taught this is an orange, this is glasses, this is a pen, but you don't know what it is. That's what they say. That's all it is. We don't know what none of these is. From the glasses to the pen to none of that. That's the real truth. It's only defined until you define it. When you define it and know what it is, then you understand. But until then, we're just following the footsteps of what's here that keep us unconscious by saying, oh, this is a pen. This is what it is. The star is there. When we agree to them things, we stay unconscious and we allow the beast to take over our kids, take over our mind, and we keep living like slavery. We got to stop this. They're no different from us. They're not stronger than us and they can't do anything to you. They just know they outsmart you. I do see demons. How can I? I don't see demons. How could I see them? Luis Alejo Muzado Lidio. I like that, Lord Nail. You want to see demons, family? That's a good thing, man. That means you want to face your true self and face your dark side, your nature, your envy, your lust, your hate. Why you want to marry a woman? Let's look at it now. Why you want to marry a man? If he love you and he tell you he love you, what the more do you need than that? You don't trust him? You don't believe him? So you say, no, go marry him and do all. This is where we come in with egotistical things, where envy, lust, hate, pride. More than likely, we get married and we do this stuff because we don't want nobody else to fuck these people and take them. That's the real truth. So we put this in a psychological form and make it look like, oh, I want to marry and we be together. But in the household, you can't look at nobody else. You can't do nothing else. And if you go with somebody else, fuck you and I'm leaving. That's not love. That's love with conditions. As long as you be true to me, I'll be true to you. So you become a safety blanket for other people. Just a safety blanket, which means you have no room to grow. You have no room to evolve. You become a servant. You understand? And so by you becoming a servant, you deny yourself your ability to be God, the whole system. You're a deck of tarot cards. There's many aspects to you. But you will have to learn the different sides of yourself by facing your demons, your demions. They're all up to you to take you to your higher angelic self. And just reverse the process of from God to humans, and you will see the path back up is the next thing over you, the Nephilim, the demions. Aside from that, think about this. You can't die. Energy cannot die. So if you was thinking then it's just you, what about everything that ever lived? It's still there, but you just can't see it. Do you think about that? Think about it. Nothing is dead. Nothing never left. So when you know that, what we call them demions, demons, these negative things that was put here by society, Why would God put something here to hurt you? And how come you haven't been hurt by it? There's no such thing as that. There's no documentations, there's no news covering the demons attacking everybody, because that's never true. They know it's people, we're humans, we're the demons, and they warring with our spirit to keep us unconscious because our demons is trying to wake us up to this. Trying to wake us up to our magnetic field has been compromised, our mind has been compromised. You're here to ascend, but why are we servants? That's what is going on. And I'm pretty sure all of us got unique abilities, gifts, and truths of our own to reveal. But being that we call under this construct that the government put us under, we can't express ourselves without these definitions that they give us. So, with this in mind, all of this now is where you're going to start awakening. Stop repeating things. Saying to myself, if you did something, don't do it again. Use that analogy of new wine and no old wine in the new wineskin. Once you do that, you open new doors for new things to come in your life. But if you keep doing the same old things, you're not going to do anything new. You're just going to repeat, 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 repeat. But if you could say, I'm not going to do this, yo, your homeboy come, I'm not hanging out today. Why you keep coming to get me? Find out these things. Why you keep coming to chill with me? Are you distracting me from something? I don't get it. And what do you come get me? You don't teach me. You don't extend me. You just come to distract me. I could sit here and ponder in my own head for that. So once you realize there's certain archons in place to govern you, to make sure you don't wake up, and you will see, once you drop those things, your cycle change. It's like you change another chapter in your life by deleting all these things. There's nobody really here. This is the path of Solomon, and you're using the wisdom of Solomon. They test you mostly with fear first. Yes, that's right. That's the fear. Fear is why we don't want to change. No one can pass gatekeepers because they organize your incarnation. Yeah, official skills. No matter what you do, you got to realize gatekeepers control our perception. They don't control you. They control what you think. They control what you see. They control how you feel. They control your emotions. And gatekeepers got you believing from in your imaginary friend when you was little to Spider-Man when you get older or Snow White. Gatekeepers get that. Then you start believing in religion. You believe in Jesus. Gatekeepers got you that. If you believe in Allah, you're in a certain part of your gatekeeper. You understand? You don't have nothing in you. Whatever you believe in, a gatekeeper holds it. And once you pass his perception, then you know so much. But now you got another gatekeeper. It's always a gatekeeper till you exit out your crown chakra with the beast at the top of your crown chakra waiting to, you got to defend yourself again. Some, yes, you're welcome, Aisha Ashmodi. Thank you. Yeah, somebody wrote upside down. The Shadow Hunter. How the hell you doing this, man? All that shit to either return to earth and what is from above return above. Yeah. What does it benefit gatekeepers? It does benefit gatekeepers. You're the gatekeepers. Your true self, your logos. What you call the logo. If you was to see a gatekeeper and how it would be like, it would be like facing. I'll show you a Debbie in a minute, but it'll just be a sphere. You this a cell. So then scroll to Siri and dictation and allow. So you're the cell, but now on the ethereal side of you're the cell, you also now become a Debbie. You see a person inside the cell, a little man holding like a trident inside the cell. That's you. That's your God of that frequency, of that dimension. Look at you as a bandwidth of colors. The whole Roy B. Jib. And between every bandwidth to the next color is a magnetic field between yellow and aqua blue. And so you live in between there in the bandwidth. That's Earth. That's our dimension. In between each color zone. That's why white light is an illusion. You can't see the true bandwidth that's there. So now you between each bandwidth, but you exist in every bandwidth too. That's your possibilities. This is digital stuff. You understand? So the gatekeeper is here, right? And so you only believe in Allah right here, up to here. And you only care about Allah. You only want to hear about this. Put it like this: the 24 people, they're in the gatekeeper of the certain chakra that only want to hear this information. They don't care about nothing else. That's a gatekeeper. Once now you realize that, boom, say your wifey or your girl keep coming every day and offering you eggs, and you take it even though you don't like eggs. And you say, yo, why you bring me eggs every day? I don't want this. Don't bring it to me no more. Your perception changed and you pass the gatekeeper. That's how simple it is. Some old funny thing that you don't see yourself always repetitively doing. Gatekeepers can only hold you if you're unconscious to it. It's a quiz. It's that Solomon smart quiz. But it's so sarcastic, it's played out in your daily life. So when you see a repetitive cycle, you're stuck in a gatekeeper. You have to pass them, outsmart them, do something, stop it. Without saying, stop, motherfucker, get out of here. Then it didn't work. You know, another version of them come. It's to outsmart the gatekeepers and keep moving your ship forward. Once you do, you come up. They say the heart chakra and the throat chakra is the greatest and the hardest one, because your heart renders you empathy, and it could be what trap you to a lot of relationship, your kids, everything. Your heart chakra makes you also find God, Jesus, and the throat chakra now give you the ability to talk. Once you're able to say, no, motherfucker, or I only want to talk about God, and this is what I care about, those two is at war for balance. You have to put them 50%, 50%, not 100, and this is, 0, or this is 25 and this is 75. You get an imbalance. You have to be perfectly aligned with those two. I met the final gatekeeper, Shadow Hunter. The personality of a gatekeeper is actually extremely demonic. They only want your weakness turned into power. If you don't pass their test, you lose your life story if you make it next test sometime. Yeah, the personality of a gatekeeper is scary. No, it's just, you see, you're worse than the gatekeeper. You're worse than anything. But you're in a lie. Nature's a lie. If you look at every animal in nature, like the lion that hunts in his environment, he actually is camouflaged to deceive the praise in his environment. So reality only made either a prey or predator. And it knows that, and you go back to that animal state as you go up. But if you ascend and you pass gatekeepers, you don't go back to your animal self. You go to your higher self. And so what you have is the weighing of the heart is between your animal self. Did you become animal or did you become human? Man, you understand? Desire chasing kept you as an animal. Neglecting your desires made you a human. So that's what's going on. The gatekeeper measures these things and they keep them aligned in what's called the chakra system. You understand how it works now? So you have many gatekeepers. You can have one gatekeeper here, take 2 steps, have another. Or you can have a journey for a long time, you don't see a gatekeeper. They're invisible. You never see their entrances and exit. If you're traveling through your body, gatekeeper is the lightest cloud you're going to see. Very light, but he's there chilling like this, cocked up. He's like this, watching you fly by him a million times. You can't go past without paying the toll. He's invisible or just like light like predator. But you could be going by him a million times. A million years pass by. And until you saw the gatekeeper and he makes a sign and you make the sign back, you don't exist. You're just going like this in a circle. That's all you're doing, really. The gatekeeper make you stop and go up here now. And you start doing this up here now. Until you get it, then you stop and you go up here. So gatekeepers is what you have to look for. Gatekeepers give you a headache, stress you out. People are your gatekeepers. People at your job is your gatekeeper. It could be a gatekeeper to your promotion, a gatekeeper to you learning something new. I'm your gatekeepers to this information. You understand what I'm saying? So gatekeepers is real. Everybody is a gatekeeper to somebody in some way or form or another. We are those gatekeepers that you see inside yourself. We are them. Everybody plays it out in a virtual reality game, synchronicity. So don't take gatekeepers for granted. Take it as very serious because your next promotion, your next move depends on your gatekeeper, how you approach them and deal with them. I don't think it's the same applies to all. Well, I'm just putting gatekeeper on the general. She was past. She was past the gate to the this universe in travel. All right, let me get something straight with gatekeepers. Gatekeepers is of God. They're there to do a job. Like Satan is here to do a job. That's God's best man. His best friend is Satan. His right hand stick man. Anybody that want to say that they represent God, Satan is coming to test your faith to see if you real. Gatekeepers too, man. Don't twist it up about gatekeepers as evil. Only people that's evil is human beings. Gatekeeper don't fight another gatekeeper. There's nobody in the heaven world or ether world fight with each other. Human beings fight with each other. We are the ones that's bad, and we try to bring badness up into the heaven world. They're organized. They're the data that you see in your everyday life. But you can't come up there talking about you're going to kill this or this is bad, this is evil. Ain't no such thing as that. God made that, man. He made it perfect. And you got to come to this realization that your evilness is in yourself, man. And if you don't see that, you're going to keep equating things you don't understand to bad, to negative, to, it's just because you don't understand it. Give yourself time. Are many people soulless? I hear that's a lot. Yes, everybody is soulless. Did you go get your soul? Did you know you have to get your soul? What do you think? Your soul is just there and you got it? No, you have to go get your soul. That's what an initiation is. Initiation, look it up. I mean, go get your soul. You have an astral body now. You deserve it. This is like a big video game. And when you do certain things right and your perception move up, you get a double body. You have astral double or ethel double. Then you're able to go get your soul. That astral body is only to get your soul and teach you about your past lives and your memory and that you're God. That's why you hear people say it's a mystery. What a mystic is he flies around in his Merkaba. He knows this information. And that's the truth. So once you know all of this, you will stop the following of religion, dogma, theologies, philosophies. Stop it and start the mission to activate your Merkaba and get the hell up out of here. That's the truth. You understand? So it's not just gatekeepers as theirs, bad. Because every gatekeeper you think you pass, because it's a fear tactic. It's for you to overcome your fear. You're fearless. To be God and creator is only one thought process, a positive thought process of will. A shock into the matrix, a shock into the astral world. But if you second guess it, you put a negativeness or you hinder yourself. So we don't push negativeness with positiveness when you're willing. Because when you're willing something, like say if I wanted to will this pen, I say I want this pen and I'm going to get it. But if I say I want this pen, but how am I going to get it? You just put a negative thought form in there. What's the process to get it? Another negative thought form, just get it. No, you're in mind. If you wanted to be the pen, you say I'm the pen. You turn into the pen. If you say I'm angry, poof, you turn into anger. Poof, you turn into this. So whatever you think, poof, is what happens. So you gotta know how to will just positive, one-sided, not duality, because you willed both. You understand what I'm saying? So that's really the concept of, I want you to understand, gatekeepers, once you pass one, the next one is harder. And once you overcome your fear, you had to overcome a fear of something. Gatekeepers is only in charge of fear and ignorance. That's all they're in charge of. You're ignorant to something, and that's because you don't want to face it. So that's the gatekeeper, that's the shadow that's there, that's making you don't want to go for it because you're scared of the unknown. That's the gatekeeper. But once you face it and you pass it, you realize it was nothing in the first place. But then you think you overcame a fear that was big to you, but the next fear is going to be worse with the next gatekeeper. And the next one's going to be worse. And the next one's going to be worse. It's the same like if I ascended, I don't have to work. Everything is given to me. That's how it works. You get everything you need. You just think of it and it comes to you. But here go the trick. Your decision making in the spiritual world is way more harder, more detrimental. Your soul is involved. It's way more than just deciding if you're going to go to work or stay home, if the kids is going to eat today. So with these positions of doing nothing, or what we call soul administrator or spiritual administrators, you have more detriments in your decision making towards the world that you make. And these is real. Y'all been doing it. Tibetan monks do it. Everybody's doing it. And you're participating in it too. You don't know who you are. And it's not a war of the flesh. It's a war of the soul that never died, even when the flesh severs. It's really from the ethereal body. So the ethereal body just make a new body. You understand? So you have to learn these. Okay, let me back up on some of these and read them. The gatekeeper also control of higher authority. They regulate soul evolution between incarnation to observe the oversoul. That's right, official skills, you just said the mouthful, and that's what I was basically trying to summarize so we don't see them as hate, don't hate gatekeepers, because gatekeepers is you. You're the gatekeeper of your own perception or ignorance of your own. Seraphim, shadow hunters, seraphims is the dragons. All seraphims are winged beings. You have orpheums and seraphims. One's is the beast gargoyles, and the other ones is the winged beings. The winged beings are the seraphim created the angels. They're the offlines of the seraphim, and the demions come from the cherubims, which is the kids of the angels. It's deep. Trickster, yes, yo Adams. I should just Aisha Ashmo, many people soulless. I hear this a lot. Okay, so yes, everybody, like I was telling you, is in a way soulless. We have a universal soul. There's a universal soul that we participate in, like a drop of water. That is your individual soul. It's not your true soul because you're more spirit. You're not a soul. So your soul is a journey to spirit, but you first flesh. Flesh cannot connect to spirit. I mean to soul. That's two different, like oil and water. So there's a mediator called your demion or chakras. Same thing. Demion, devas, chakras is the same thing, and they're all. Everything is alive in nature. There's nothing dead. They connect to you and connect your soul. Your soul now have to go through a process of memory. You remember all your past life, and you lose desire because the soul is what's called the anima in Sanskrit, which is an animal. It's only cared for desire and growing kids, and so you will have to grow it and teach it how to enlighten it through knowledge, wisdom, Gnosticism to be the nous, the knower. Once it gets to a certain lower level of knowing, it sheds its animal desires and become pure soul, and you ascend up to the spiritual realm where you came from. Your soul going to one ray of light and wait for you to come back again on your reincarnation, and you repeat the same process again. Okay. I take one time with a gatekeeper was, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, Yahweh Tezboth, that's Shadow Hunter, Yahweh Tesaboth. All of those is psychological states to put your mind into. You got Astoth. All of these are psychological states of mind. It's not actually a person. It's not a being. It's a psychological state of mind that activates a force within your subconscious mind. So Astoth is really A to Z. That's what I mean, A to Z, as far as any type of system having to do with psychology. And it would mean the Hebrew letters, that you stare at the Hebrew letters that actually you stimulating those spirits inside of you. That's all it is by staring at a sigil, any type of form of that type of work that you're doing. It's just a matter of stimulating something in your mind to bring out a side of you. And so that's why you have those names, Ashtaroth, Tizaboth. All of them was actually the Hebrew letters drawn up in a symbolic way because it was made to actually replicate the flower of life, which is you going through all your cycles of becoming the God. So you was a demion, you was a seraphim, you was a reptilian. And so each one will represent the different names, and you remember. It's a part of you psychologically. And so your subconscious, you turn into a monster, you turn into a deity, you turn into a being. But it's up to you to be cognizant of all this and know you're the master controller. Else you can lose your mind and hurt somebody. And you will go into a crazy house or have mental problems, you know. So I just wanted you to understand that. Yeah, you have to get the parts and build it. Exactly. That's from UL Adams and Vibes Rational, but they're layers to the kingdom. Not all can access higher realm. Yeah, really, most of us is on the lower, what we call the earth realm, or a virtual reality of the earth world. That's where most of us is at, and the first just three lower levels of the astral world. You understand? You got 6 levels with the higher levels up. You know, it's really 666, which is a form of 12, 312, three threes. I don't got the whole math right now off the top, and I don't want to lose, but it's actually 6 worlds. Hold on 1 second. Give me a few. So, all right. Give me a minute. Silky, thanks for your insight as well. Yes, Ashanti asked more. And Starstruck, have you reached past the crown chakra? Have you ascended? Yes, I finished Ascension. I'll be telling you all about it and teaching you how it works. Definitely finished. That's why I'm able to make these videos now and explain it to you in such detail. So, all that exists is now. This is a singularity that have been manifested. This is not past and no future. That's from Shadow Hunter. No, everything is one moment. There is no past, no future. Just in our perception of time is inside of our minds. It's not real. The crown chakra is your rainbow bridge. It's a bridge to between the physical world and the ethereal world, or what we call Agatha and the outer world. That's what the crown chakra is between, because it's the zipper. There's a zipper here that they can open, and they rip open your head, and you come out as consciousness, and you fly around. So this creature has a large wing, a brown long robe, and was about 15 meters tall. I was like a little friendly mouse next to evil giant, but at least I told the gatekeeper what I think about all this. Well, official skills, it doesn't matter what you think, you're not you. You're there to learn from the gatekeeper. He's there to wake you up to who you are. You're not official skills or whatever your name, and you don't have no real say so in there. You're there to learn about yourself. So you probably have your morals that you was taught in the physical world, your beliefs you was taught in the physical world, but over there everything is opposite. This world to them is evil. Anything we think is evil. They know the truth, and they're the data of this world. So you can't see that they're evil. You just don't understand them right now. And you will. Give yourself time, but don't judge them. One thing I had to learn was not to judge. And the first thing I saw was ugly, scary things that I didn't want to interact with. But these ugly, scary things was the most friendliest things and the most lovingest thing. When you touch them, you just feel love. I felt like I knew them for years. So, I was wrong. I felt guilty for always judging them, calling them evil. And I found out I was the one evil for judging them. So I never judged them again. Um, they get bigger, the feet taller. UL Adams, yes. I asked the gatekeeper if any forces are manipulated my life on hyper-dimensional level. The gatekeeper said to me the following words: "Your life will be exactly what you will make with your life." All right, that's what's up. Official skills. Gatekeepers work by signs, though. They do signs, gang signs. That's how you pass them with some type of gang sign, symbol, hold up an unk, something. When you talk, they send you back. You're not ready. What ears? What vibration? How could they hear you? You talk in your head, though. Like I'm talking to you right now. That's how we talk to them. They understand that. I pay attention. I'll be talking like this. No, no, nothing. As soon as I start going and talking, they be like, I'll be like, I can't hear you, Dawn. I can't read all that. But they show me. They be like, okay, do this and go like this and do that. So everything I see visually and I do it. That's why I know. But I know everybody get kicked out. Once you became a mundane, like you come up here and you be like, hey, what year is this and what's today? They go, what are you doing in here? Who sent this mundane up here? And you get thrown into the hellfire. That's how it works. No mundane is up there. If somebody invited you in, then you got pulled in. But it's not a place to go and you go, hey, soul travel, hey, what's going on? It's a place to become who you truly are, to remember what you are, to be the God that you are, to come here and make changes, not to see it as a video game or to say I got information to steal to give it to the enemy. It's a secret. It's a secret world that the information is only for you to help you remember that you're God. That's it. Okay. Is in my memory I was a blue dragon. Aisha Ashmo, yes, the blue dragon. That's at 5 o'clock hour. If the sun is right, you get the blue dragon with your camera. You get a camera, you take pictures of a blue dragon. I love the blue dragon. That's Egyptian, and it's 100% real. Civilize the beast. Yes, Diablo Sexo, we can. And that's what we're here to make a difference, to show the beast there's not just violence, that we're God and we're God's son. You touch one of us, you hurt one of us, you're going to meet the Father. But here's the Son for now. So don't be afraid to take on the beast on anybody and convert it with knowledge and understanding, because you're the Father. And how you know that? Take that chance. Take that chance. You're going to show them that you're the Father. And they're going to know the Father through you, the Son. You're the Son. All of these should give you the strength you need to make it. I saw a big mountain sizer, golden armor from its right hand, a lion cloaked in rainbow flame, and in the left a group of horses pulling a shining cart. That sound beautiful, UL Adams. It sound like you just passed the gatekeeper and you on your way. It sound like you was with Rama. What was that, Rama? That sound like Rama's story, like you over there in India. I gotta get ready to go in a second. Somebody waiting for me. I would love to read all of these. They starting to come up now. Let me see if a gatekeeper seems scary to you. You either not ready to go through the gate or you're not supposed to. Yes, vibe rational, 100%, 100%. And if you meet a gatekeeper, you have to know the signs. Gatekeepers is tricky. They're not there to help you go through the gate. They're sneaky. They're not even supposed to let you see them. You're supposed to figure them out and figure out the secret. So, you know, look out when you're in the astral. They're the cloudy things that's hidden there. Once you see them, they open the doors for you. But more than likely, you'll miss them for a while until you get the hang of it. I need your help. Message me back. All right, young Ellie. Um, Definitely. And the next one I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start making call-ins where you could call and we speak on the phone, so people could just hear. Silky, that's interesting. Yes, Asholi. Portals never return the same start point, so gatekeepers can use you as a portal, or they could end up with a different person. Think about it. Yes, definitely, but you're in your own body. You're in a macabre, and your macabre is only for you. You're the only one here. There's nobody else here with official skills. This is only your test. There's nobody else here, believe it or not. It's all a test for you alone. And that's what you're going to realize. And I'm going to teach you that everything here is part of one big grand scheme. Just for Ashante Ashmodi, it's only you alone here. Just like official skills, it's only you alone here. You're going to understand this, but you're going to learn this. That's why Buddha monk teach you everything external is an illusion, because it's part of the Maya test your mind create. Think about it. Do you see things outside of you or inside of you? And then you'll learn everything. Silky, sometimes I feel like my chakra are portals for beings. They are definitely portals for all type of beings, entities, negatives and positives. Yes, I feel like everything in this dimension is opposite of what it is in a higher dimension. It is. It is definitely. You don't have the duality, because I always got thought forms in it of people who put negative and positive together. You can't put negative and positive in a spiritual place where everything is one energy. So we only have duality here, and that's all I gotta let you know. It's my biggest thing I had to learn, that there is no enemy there. Our only enemy is our fear, and the only person we fight in is ourselves. If you hate the universe gonna hate you back. If you smile to the universe gonna smile back. So it's whatever you see is what it becomes. That's all it is. It's just a mirror. It's nothing there but you. Lord, thank you. You made me smile because you talk to me like I didn't understand. I know you understand official skills. I'm sorry. You know, we're going to talk. I like to be myself, and I want you to feel yourself. I don't want nobody to feel I'm undermining them. Everybody got their own true knowledge and their own way. Like I said, we're not here to turn anybody. We share information to learn. So please, official skills, do not take me wrong in anything that I'm saying as far as saying that you was wrong and to see it like this or to see it like that. I'm just giving little advice, and you know, no ego is involved in me, and I apologize to anybody who feel like I'm pushing my way or anything like that, which I'm not. I'm just telling you how I made it through and how I saw it and I was able to get it. Are all white people counterfeit spirits? No, not at all. White people is the same as black people. Trust me, everybody got a soul. And not saying every human being have a soul, but spirits come in white, black, Chinese. There's people with souls. It's not. It doesn't depend on your color. It depends on who you are. Thank you for these talks. I love them. Yes, Collins with awesome. Thank you, Aisha Ashmori. I love your support, man. You make my day. You too, official skills. You know, I need you to hit me up. Call me. Lord Enki sees the truth in everyone. Yes, but vibe rational. That's called demonology. You learn through Solomon the nature of somebody. You don't impose your will. We don't have to use words. You just watch their actions. Their actions just show you their true nature. Watch their motive when they come to you, because sometimes they tell you this, but their motive is going to show you a different action. This is the beast working in them or the God working in them, because all of us is programmed to think something and act something like how the lion sneaks up on his prey. We never are straightforward with ourselves. Once you learn you're not straightforward, you will seek your truth. Until you learn that, you're going to have a problem with God, the ancestors, the entities, the demiurges, because you think you're you and you think you're the truth, but you're not. So we appreciate your inputs as well. The more we share, the more we all learn. God bless you, and that's all it is. You know, that's why I said I want to make it people calling and we talk. I put you on the loudspeaker. The language of the vibratory frequency versus spoken thought words. Yes, and that's the thing. Our mind is perfect. That's why we don't need to talk. We're gonna have times where we're just gonna sit here and meditate and talk through clairvoyance. I want us to talk without using words. I don't talk much, and I don't want y'all to get encouraged into talking. We could all sense each other vibrations. We're gonna take it to levels, new levels now. And so we're gonna talk now, but trust me, I don't want egos involved where you need a meaning for anything. Think about it. It's your ego. Why you want to know it? To tell it to somebody else. When they came, the indigenous people didn't know what they was doing. They didn't know what astral projection was. They didn't know what ether body, but they just know how to do it. Same thing. If you want to know how to do it, you gotta forget about how do you explain it, what you do, because that means you need the intricacy of these little clocks to do it. But no, you're an energy. Think it. Boom, you do it. Boom, boom. I'm gonna make you do it. Believe it or not, you're gonna do it. I have people come to my place, and I just met them 10 minutes ago, and I said, no, you're coming. Close your eye and tell me what's in my house, how I got here, where I live, everything. I've made people do that, and they don't know how they did it. Tell me, describe my outside of my yard, everything. You already it. I know who y'all is. Y'all just don't know who you are. Stop looking for definition. You're the definition. Start doing it. Just do it like the Nike sign, the swoosh. But the more you look for definition, the less you don't believe in yourself. You're a doer. You're a knower. I want you to practice that. I gotta go do some things and show some other love. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. And I really appreciate y'all taking the time out. All right. Y'all didn't get. Did you have a dog a long time ago? Yes, official skills. I'm a dog lover. I love my pit bulls. I have Rottweilers. Well said. And you know, it's sad. The dog is connected to the beast, and the beast is here to be the government of us. When we look in slavery time, they used the dog to track us down. And I'm realizing that is the beast, the dog. And I'm not one with the beast no more. I'm a cat fan now. And cat saved my life. When I was attacked by the beast, it was a cat that saved me. And I'm trying to learn more about the cat because we're snake people, Kundalini people, cat people who save us. Cat is the most revered in Egypt, the Sphinx, which is the mother goddess, the feminine energy. So I'm here now to learn the beast and teach the beast, which is the alpha male, which is here to govern souls. Those are the soulless ones governing the souls and making the souls feel like they want to be a beast, a masculine, an alpha male, all this that kills our spiritual energy. So we'll discuss that more. Official skill, thank you. Your talking is very well balanced for all of us. God bless you, and I'm trying to, and I'm gonna keep it that way because God is universal. If I claim to be God and I'm not universal, y'all check me. We make sure God knows the reason why this happened. We don't want to speculate. God did it. He's the best. He's the greatest, and gives a reason for everything, and that's not a negative one. Please post this. I can rewatch. Yes, I'm gonna make sure I do it. I love y'all. Like I said, let me go. I got family out there. Everybody's waiting. I can do this. I'm coming. One love. University of Consciousness. How you get out of here? Okay.